I'm Marty Burke. I created the Shrapnel. The Shrapnel broadhead is a broadhead constructed with aluminum talons and a carbon steel center. The talons are designed that they'll expand. They expand when they hit the animal so that it transfers the energy from your arrow tip into the animal. I was having a lot of problems with coons, and as I was getting my deer to pattern correctly, I'd get all set up and I go down for that weekend and my feeder was torn apart. And the coons were just raking havoc. It's almost like they got organized. And they would systematically go from feeder to feeder and tear each feeder apart. So all my work getting the corn, having the deer come in at the right time, would basically end as soon as the feeder was inoperable. So I came up with the idea of a broadhead that would expand when it went in the animal. I wouldn't lose arrows because I was spending a lot of money on arrows. The only way you can catch these coons is to sit on your tree stand just like you would a deer and pick them off. But it gets expensive as you're shooting these coons and you're sending arrows through them and then you never find them, they're in the woods. So the shrapnel is different in that it's not a fixed broadhead, it actually floats free and it spins. That prevents the broadhead from planing, so it shoots like a fill point. So when it enters, it's free spinning, but at that point it opens up and it expands, and all the energy from your arrow transfers to that tip, and as it slowly opens, it starts to tear. It's a blunt broadhead, so it doesn't actually cut through. It slows down as it's tearing, and it takes that energy, which really prevents the arrow from going through the animal, so you don't lose any arrows. The Synergy Shrapnel broadhead gives me an inexpensive head that I can reuse. It's got a hard tip center, which is carbon steel but aluminum talons, and the talons are replaceable, so I can just put another set of talons on every time I shoot. It's real easy to replace the talon or the blades. You simply unscrew the tip, remove the old talon, and then just slide the other one on and screw it back. It's real easy, very low cost. So the Shrapnel is a static expandable, and it uses the malleability of the aluminum to open up, which is a little bit different than most mechanicals where they're using a hinge or a mechanical design. This really is low cost and the most effective way to transfer energy. So what that means is it opens up a lot more easily and there's less parts to break. So the 3-tip design is stainless steel and it's got a hard, sharp edge as opposed to the 4-tip, which is aluminum. Aluminum is more soft game. The steel tip is for a larger animal, maybe your coyote or maybe your fox, or it could be a turkey broadhead too. A lot of people need a hard edge or a sharp edge. With regulations in some states, it requires you to have a sharp leading edge, especially in turkey season. So it's a little more robust, it's wider, has a 2 3/4 cutting diameter, where the talon opens up to 2.5, but it doesn't start out at 2 3/4. So the 3-blade is a larger diameter to start with, and it cuts a little wider, so you're at 3 inches by the time it expands. If you're having trouble losing arrows, or if you're tired of sinking a lot of money into your broadheads, just give Shrapnel a try.